Joining us now is ABC News royal contributor Victoria Murphy. Victoria, thanks so much for your time tonight. Let's talk specifically about the fact that Harry and Meghan both made it clear that the Queen was always kind to them, yet they were rather critical of both Charles and William. Family dynamics are always complicated. Where do these relationships go from here?
Well, I think that's a very good question, Lindsay. I mean, one of the many revelations in the interview was Harry being very open about what has gone on behind closed doors with his family. He was really open about the fact that his relationship with his father and his brother have really deteriorated. He spoke about Charles not taking his calls for a period of time. He said his relationship with his brother now is about space. The one person who didn't receive any personal criticism was the Queen. They were very careful to be, full of praise really for her, describing her as warm, and Harry speaking about how much they had communicated with her over the last year. But, there's only so long, I think, that you can separate these personal relationships from the institution. And they didn't criticize the Queen directly, but they were incredibly critical, a scathing assessment of the establishment that she has presided over. So I do think that, there's a lot of bridges to be built after this. And as Harry said, I think it could take quite a significant amount of time for those personal relationships to be rebuilt.
Sure. And as expected, the late Princess Diana also played a role in all of this, from Harry saying that his inheritance from her paid for their security to Meghan wearing her bracelet during the interview. What do you see as the parallels between Diana's relationship with the royal family and now, in particular, with her son and his wife?
Well, I think, Harry and Meghan have been really keen to bring Diana's memory into a lot of things that they've done. As you say, the symbolism of Meghan wearing her bracelet. They spoke about Diana a lot in this interview. Meghan saying that she'd reached out to one of Diana's friends to talk about what she was going through. And even just the fact that the interview was taking place, so many echoes of that Panorama interview that Diana did just over 25 years ago. I think it's probably important to remember, though, that there are differences, because Diana was on her own when she left the royal family, and she was also physically pursued by photographers in a way that Harry and Meghan have not been. They feel very affronted by the coverage, but they have not been physically followed in the same way that Diana was.
And you've covered the royals certainly for a long time now. The topic of press coverage has long been a big one. They both felt that they didn't get support from family members. What can you tell us about your dealings with the palace and how they handled media inquiries about the couple?
Well, that's an interesting question. I mean, the media has been such a big part of this story, and Meghan and Harry's criticism of the coverage has been very public, and also their coverage. I would say that having done this for 10 years and having dealt with palace press officers in that period of time, that I hadn't noticed a change in the way that they responded to stories about Harry and Meghan in comparison to any about what they give away. They never want to say very much about personal stories. They often say no comment. Occasionally there might be a bit of guidance. And I don't think that there was a change there with Harry and Meghan. But I think maybe the question that we should be asking is, maybe should there have been a difference? Because Meghan said in this interview, she joined the family in the truly internet age. And I do think we've consistently underestimated the significance of that. When a new member joins, there's so much interest, and you amplify that in this internet and social media age in a way that was not possible even 10 years ago. One story becomes 1,000 stories in minutes. And coupled with the issue of racism that we obviously hadn't seen with other members before, I think maybe the question is, should they have taken a more proactive stance than perhaps they were used to taking in the past?
And lastly, do you think that anything positive came out of the interview last night? And do you think any of the revelations made will have lasting impacts?
I mean, I certainly think there'll be lasting impact from the interview, huge lasting impact, because it's such a big moment and there were so many revelations. I'm not convinced that the impact will be that positive at the moment, but there were definitely positive things that they said. They spoke about the fact that their next baby is going to be a little girl. That was really lovely news. They also spoke a little bit about Archie, and they do seem to be very happy in their new lives, and they feel that they've made the right decision. So there were moments of positivity there, definitely.
ABC News royal contributor Victoria Murphy, thank you so much as always.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.